series as we head into Game 4.
And I'll be interested to see if these teams approach it any differently, with one on the brink of elimination and the other just a win away from putting an end to this thing. You know, in the postseason, I think you have to treat every game the same, but there's something about an elimination game that can put a team just into a different mindset.
Yeah, and the strategy can certainly change in this type of game. It's hard to manage the same way when in any given at-bat, it can impact everything you've been working for throughout the season. First pitch coming at you right after the break. And on the hill in this one, Hurston Waldrop. What do we need to know here about the right-hander?
Well, I'm interested to see how he utilizes his sinker to this lineup, Rube. You know, it's not necessarily his go-to primary pitch, but he does mix it in when he needs it. He's just got to make sure that it's not flat. Otherwise, it's going to get hit hard. So look for him to throw it up there when he needs a big double play, a ground ball, something like that to get out of an inning, change it up for a hitter. Also, get those hitters looking down so that it opens up the top of the strike zone, especially late in an at-bat.
Yep, that ball went out.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. That's a little bit low. That one misses. So a leadoff walk.
Well, a breaking ball in that 3-2 count kind of tells you that that's the pitch he has the most confidence in right now. Just couldn't find the strike zone.
Here's Nico Horner. That one fouled off. Here comes the 0-1.
Hey! Ball 2.
Runner takes off. Slowly on the ground to short. Duvall. Throw off line. He's safe. And a nice job there to keep it from getting away.
Sometimes early errors can be just as costly as errors made late in the ball game, but you just don't know it at the time. Second batter of the game gets on base for free, bringing up the number 3 hitter. So we'll see if they can take advantage right here.
Look out!
Yep, that got
and
him.
It hit him.
First base.
Batting fourth.
Dangerous hitter at the plate in Alex Brinkman. A little out front there as he swings through it. All loaded up. Dangerous hitter at the plate. On the ground to the left. Over to second for 1. They complete the double play, but the run scores. It's 1-0.
It's always great when you can add a run, but in this situation with the bases loaded, double play is kind of a rally killer.
In the air, left side. And that is that. No hits, but an error to walk lead to a run. On to the bottom of the first. It's the Cubs 1 and the Braves coming up. You're watching the National League Division Series on the show. Back here in Atlanta, and on the hill for the Cubs, Shota Imanaga. What do we need to know here? Leading off, Jurickson Profar. That one finds the zone, and that's strike one. Profar goes 5 feet 11 inches, 185 pounds, and he's a native of Curacao. Ground ball right side. Oh, what a stop from his knees. The throw. Nicely done for the out.
Oh, that is such a tough play, but they make it look easy. They slow the game down. That diving stop right there, it's only part of the equation. Then you got to collect yourself, get up, make a good throw, and you got to get it there in time. That's the toughest part, especially when it's got to be on the money.
Ball one.
Swings through that one out in front that time.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you get hurt.
The 2-2.
Check
swing, tried to hold up, now an appeal to first, and he held up.
Three.
2 down. Here's the Atlanta Braves lineup. They're dealing with a top-level arm on the mound, so this figures to be a tough matchup for them. What's the key to the offense today, Singy?
Well, Boog, against a talented pitcher, it's crucial to disrupt his rhythm. Use bunts to get him off the mound and moving around out there. If he's in a flow, step out and break his timing. When he throws in the zone, you might only get one pitch, so you don't want to miss it.
Matt Olson now at the plate as he swings through strike one. And Singy, as a team, you need to make the most of the very few opportunities he's going to give you, right?
Absolutely. And you know, if you don't get to guys like this a lot of times early, once they really settle in, it's going to be the later innings that they hand that ball over to a reliever if they do at all.
Good job to fight that one off. Two down, nobody on. Starting to go after it. Now a look down to third, and he held back, according to Ricky Holiday. In the air, left field. Happ drifts towards it, and that'll do it. Nothing across here this half. End of the first from Truist Park. It's the Cubs 1 and the Braves nothing. This is the National League Division Series on the show. Game 4 of the Division Series. Top of the second, Seiya Suzuki now at the plate. Oh, great stop to first, and very nicely done for the out. Legends really are cemented in the postseason. You think of David Ortiz heroics for the Red Sox, Derek Jeter as Mr. November, or Randy Johnson in the 2001 World Series, just to name a few. A swing and a miss, and that's strike one.
Well, on that idea of postseason reputations, Boog, got to mention players like Carlton Fisk, Reggie Jackson, and Madison Bumgarner. We were doing that game. Those guys really shined in the toughest moments.
Ripped on a line, and that's got extra bases written all over it. Safely into second. He's got a double.
Nice line drive to the pull side, met it out front, but just stayed through it nice enough and ripped it into the outfield.
One out, runner at second. Carson Kelly, the next to hit. In there at the knees, 0-1. And it's second. Swing and a miss. That's strike two. And he couldn't hold back. He's rung up on strikes. Handles, throws to first. Now 2 away. Smash down the left field line. One hopper off the wall, and that should bring in the run. The run scores from second, and they lead by 2.
Comes through with the RBI. Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
So runner at second, 2 down. Pete Crow Armstrong, the next Cub to hit. Ground ball, and that's through the infield. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score, and they're up by 3.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. And now they've got some speed on first, so we'll see if they try to get him into motion.
Quick move to first. Crow Armstrong back in on a dive. And that one hit to first, and it finds its way through for a hit. And now 2 aboard.
Not much to this one other than just a willingness to go the other way and put the ball in play. That's a team to bat right there. Nice job of staying back and letting the ball get deep.
Now at the plate, Michael Bush. Well struck left field. That one carrying. And it is out of here. A 3-run shot, and they boost their lead. He only needed 1 swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at bat, Boog. Aggressive, and it paid off. Anytime you have a pitch down the middle of the plate, the percentages go up for the hitter to do damage, even if it's a pretty good sinker like that one. Nice piece of hitting there at the plate.
Here comes the skipper, and we're going to see a pitching change in this spot. Hurston Waldrop is done, and this is one he'd like to forget. Back with a new arm after this. A.J. Smith-Shawver into the game.
Well, they need someone to stop the bleeding and keep the score right where it is. Seems like a tough task today with the way this lineup is swinging it.
On the ground. Fair ball. And he's got a double.
Even though he was really late on it, he clearly barreled the ball because that one was ripped down the line. He had to be really short with that swing, not get beat by that pitch.
In half up to hit.
With how good these offenses are, there's a lot of ball game left.
Sliced hard but foul. Offense exploding for 5 so far in the inning. Here in game 4 of the NLDS. Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. That completes the strikeout, inning over. So the Cubs get 3 on this blast. The lead has exploded to a half dozen. You're watching the National League Division Series on the show. Bottom of the second. Now in for the Braves, Austin Riley.
This is one of those times when you want to be aggressive. Go ahead and pitch to contact. Let the defense work behind you. You've got a nice, comfortable lead. Don't try to be too fine.
So the call stands. Still 1 challenge left for them.
Hey. That pitch was dotted. So much talent on display when this guy's out there on the hill.
And he swings through that one. Can't connect on the curveball, struck him out.
Well, I don't think there's a hitter alive that hasn't at some point succumbed to that pitch right there. It just looks like it's in the zone the entire way, and then the top spin and gravity take over in the blink of an eye, and it's just such a tough pitch to lay off of.
Hey!
Baldwin recently taking home Player of the Month honors. Makes the grab, and there's 2 out.
It's never fun going back to the dugout after hitting a line drive that finds a glove, but you will get some high fives. You know, when you make great contact, you feel like you've done everything right. But in this game of baseball, not everything is in your control.
2 down, nobody on. And that is out of play. The 0-2. Oh, can't pick it up cleanly. But they get the out at first, and that'll do it for the inning. Braves go down quickly here. Still up against a 6-0. Top half of the 3rd inning. Stepping in, Seiya Suzuki.
You know, these Cubs putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. They've got to be happy with the 6 runs they've thrown on the board. That's usually enough offense to win you the game, so they just have to keep doing what they're doing.
The 0-2. Swings and misses at the breaking ball in the dirt. In time to get him. 1 away in the strikeout.
Well, obviously that was nowhere near the strike zone by the time it got to the plate, and people at home watching are thinking, what's he swinging at? But I'll tell you, some of the break guys snap off these days is just devastating. It can be so tough to recognize where a pitch like that's going to end up.
Slapped hard the other way, but foul. Misses just off the outside edge. I think that was a strike.
And if you're a manager or a hitting coach, you love to see your team really fighting for every at-bat, every pitch. It tells you a lot about how they showed up to the ballpark today.
Goes down looking.
No, just couldn't pull the trigger on the fastball right there, and I don't think he was taking it, thinking it might be a called ball or anything. I just think he was flat out frozen. Did not expect that location, in my opinion.
Kelly swings through that one as he comes to the plate for the 2nd time today. The Braves bullpen has some activity. Martin Perez, the left-handed reliever, appears to be getting loose. Lee warming up as well. Two down, nobody on. And that's outside. Swings and blasts one deep to left center, and it's into the gap, and that's going to roll to the wall. Relay throw to second, and that's a double.
Still able to come through behind in the count right there. A lot of hitters tell themselves, line drive over the infielder's head. That's what I'm trying to do. Just keep that approach simple. And right there, it was perfectly executed. On time with everything, and pulled it into the gap nicely.
Runner at second, 2 down. We're here in the top half of inning number 3. And it's fouled away. Here's the 0-2. That one is absolutely belted. Carrying well. And that one is out of here. All muscle to center field. And they throw a pair on the board. It's 8-0.
He's bringing the thunder in a rainstorm. How in the world did he manage to hit that pitch out? He dropped the barrel right there. Got a fastball down at the knees where he'd prefer it. So many times now, guys are having to adjust to the elevated fastball. So I'm sure his eyes got big when he saw that one coming.
Pete Crow Armstrong, the next Cub to hit.
Hey!
The 0-1. Swing and a miss.
He finds himself in a tough situation early. Just got to try to simplify it. Take a knock the other way if you can.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Cubs had 2 on this homer. It's now an 8-0 game. This is the National League Division Series on the show. Set for the bottom of the 3rd. So now to the plate for Atlanta, Michael Harris II. On the ground right side. Tosses to first. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Hey!
Popped up. And there's 2 away.
Well, that's a frustrating end to the at-bat for the hitter right there. I mean, that pitch was right down the middle. I think he got a little too excited, came out of his mechanics, and instead of driving that ball somewhere, he popped it up. Unfortunate for him.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
This guy's pounding the zone. Hitters don't have time to think in between pitches.
And down on strikes. 3rd out, and that ends the frame. Game 4 of the division series. Start of the 4th. Nico Horner digs in now.
Yeah!
Into center and a base hit. So a runner aboard to start the inning.
He made that look easy, keeping his bat in the zone on plane for a long time. That leads to a high contact rate and more barrels, Boog.
Horner on the go. Gets the bunt down the right side. They put the tag on him, and he gets the job done.
Up next for the Cubs.
Here's Alex Bregman. 1 for 2. And first offering is fouled off. 1 out and a runner at second here in game 4 of the NLDS. Swing and he popped it up. Two down. Fouls one off out of play, back to our left. And that's a base hit. Horner flies around third. Throw is offline, and he scores. It's 9-0.
Well done. Drives in the run. Just a solid swing right there. Caught it out front and ripped it into the outfield for the base hit. Those always feel great.
Digging in, Seiya Suzuki. Foul ball. 1 run across in the frame so far. Top half of inning number 4.
Good purpose pitch right there. Trying to tease him, get him to raise his sights, pop something up, and make it an easy out.
Got him swinging for the K. The high heat too much on that one. 1 run, a pair of hits, no errors, and 1 left on. To the bottom of inning number 4 now. It's the Cubs 9 and the Braves nothing. You're watching the National League Division Series. Back at Truist Park, bottom of the inning.
Clearly down in this ball game, and you can't look at the deficit and try to get it all back in one swing. It's got to come 1 at bat at a time, and even shrink it down smaller, pitch to pitch. Make that pitcher work to get you out.
In the air, right field. 1 away. Here's Ronald Acuna Jr. at the plate. His first at bat was a strikeout.
Something I'm noticing in this one is that these hitters are aggressive early in the count. It makes you wonder if that was talked about in the hitters meeting before this game started. This offense has their backs against the wall. You know, baseball has a way of surprising people, but it's going to take a huge effort to fight back and save their season. I don't think he was trying to miss by that much in a low 2 count. Just tried to overthrow that pitch.
Good eye right there.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
The Cubs up big in this one. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Sets him down on strikes. And that's 4 strikeouts.
Well, that's almost just not fair with that pitch. I mean, until the very last second, looked like it was going to be well in off the plate, but the arm side run brought it right back to catch the inside corner. Tell you what, frustrating as a hitter, you give up on the pitch. I honestly don't know what you're supposed to do with that as a hitter.
That is the inning. Ready now for the 5th inning. And here's the DH for the Cubs, number 75.
You know, these Cubs, simply put, are producing a lot of quality swings. Everything seems to be clicking, and the 6 extra base hits in the game kind of tells you everything you need to know. They're not getting fooled up there at all.
The 1-1 is fouled off. The 1-2. Down on strikes, looking for the 2nd straight plate appearance.
Well, just a beautiful fastball on the inside corner for that backwards K right there. I think the hitter saw it all the way coming from that opposite arm angle, so I got to think he was looking away and just got locked up by the hard stuff boring in on his hands.
That one fouled off. The 0-1. Just missed. Swing and a ball popped up. All these. And there's 2 down.
That was a good hard fastball with some nice ride up in the zone right there. Hitter looked like he was on it, but I think that velocity at the end just beat him. Instead of a line drive or something hit deep, it's a pop-up and an easy out for the defense.
What do you got?
Swing. Now an appeal to first. Did not go. Two down, nobody on. And that one fouled off. 1-1 now. Swing and a miss as he was late that time. Back foot slider struck him out. Nothing happening there for the Cubs, but they still hold a 9-0 lead. Back in Atlanta Truist Park. Now in for the Braves, Austin Riley. On the ground, right side. Bush whips it to first. One pitch and one out.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air. Lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution. These hitters are going to have to find a way to be a little more patient, see more pitches per at bat. Otherwise, that bullpen's not going to have to work over there, and it's going to be advantage pitching all game long.
That misses. Ball 2. The Braves yet to pick up a hit here. Next pitch is downstairs.
Here's an opportunity to do some damage and perhaps unlock this offense. 3-1 count. Be ready to turn on a fastball.
Late on that fastball. And they'll do it again. The Braves with a lot of ground to make up. Last half of inning number 5. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. The throw comes in too late, and he reaches safely. Ozzie Albies up to the plate. 0 for 1, he grounded out in his first at bat.
Ball 1.
Check swing called strike. And the count even at 1. Fouled off left side. Man at first, 1 away. Fouls it off, still 1-2. Breaks his bat, there's a soft liner. Corner. Oops, he came home with it. And, of course, everybody's going to be safe. Yikes.
Well, you'll take it. Little jam shot down in the off the fists, but just powered it out to the outfield. You'll take that all night long.
Clips the corner. 0-1. Baldwin on second. Albies over at first with 1 away. Oh, look at the stop. There's 1. What a double play that was. Inning over. Another frame in the books as the perfect game falls by the wayside. It's the Cubs 9 and the Braves nothing. Welcome back as we look at the highlights from today's game so far. And now it's going to be Pete Crow Armstrong.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Swings through that one for strike 1.
The guy at the plate could recognize slider out of the hand. Didn't stay in the tunnel very long in terms of depth and perception. He knew right away it was an off-speed pitch.
The 1-1. This one in the air center field. Harris gets under it. Takes it in for the out.
Up next for the Cubs, second baseman, Nico Horner.
That clips the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. The Cubbies up big in this one, and we're in the top half of the 6th.
Ball.
Outside with a breaking ball. Struck him out swinging. And he's registered 3 Ks in this one. Here comes Ian Hamilton takes over on the mound. He's into the game with the bases empty. Michael Busch getting ready to hit. He's already homered in this game. And first offering is fouled off.
That's a ball. Ball 2.
Sinker catches the zone at the knees. And that's too high. Alex Bregman waiting for a turn at the plate. 2 down, nobody on. Here in game 4 of the NLDS. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. 3 up. Well, we go bottom 6. So now to the plate for Atlanta. Mauricio Dubon. First
Ball
pitch,
one.
and he just misses.
You know, these Braves just lacking discipline at the plate in this ball game. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
And that one did find the strike zone. So they get to hang on to their second challenge. That catches the corner. Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. On the ground to third, and he can't come up with it.
Up next for the Braves, right fielder, Dominic Smith.
Foul ball there. And that misses. And it's 1-1.
Boog, the runner at first needs to be careful right here. He's dealing with a pickoff artist on the mound.
And there's a hit. And now 2 aboard. Well, maybe that will end up getting him going.
Yeah, he really simplified there. Kept his shoulders square to the plate and trying to overswing. I think that's the key for him to have success through the rest of this series.
Here's the switch hitting left fielder Jackson Profar. In the dirt. First and second, no outs. Here in the bottom of the 6th. That one
Ball
misses. Ball 2.
Could be some action here on this next pitch. Couple runners on. Probably a challenge pitch coming.
Right back to the mound. Could be an easy 2. To Horner at second for 1. Double play. That was some defensive wizardry.
Oh, man, what a smooth double play. That was a thing of beauty from start to finish. The guy's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. As a hitter, you got to be ready to hit. Now, that's not going to help you get deep into his pitch count and into the bullpen, but you got to take what he's offering that day.
Hit in the air out to center field. Horner in position. And that will end the inning. Make it 6 shutout innings for him out there now. Back here in Atlanta, their offense has produced a lot of hits so far, as we see from the spray chart.
Yeah, it looks like they've been spreading it out pretty well in this one, Boog. Spraying the ball all over. Good team effort at the dish.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. 0-2. Hamilton, a righty that throws with power. He features a sinker, a slider, and he works in a 4-seamer. Tried to check his swing there. Now an appeal to first. He did not go around. Gets a piece and stays alive.
This guy's a fun guy to watch taking it bat. He just battles up there. He doesn't take a pitch off at all. Makes it so difficult on the pitchers out there. You can tell they get frustrated with how long it takes to put him away.
Now one missed. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Oh, you know that's got to be very frustrating for this guy. He knows the strike zone extremely well. And you know what? Good hitters are not going to compromise. He'll take that punch out, but ultimately stick with his plan and have more success than anything else.
Here's the left fielder, Ian Happ. Chop back up the middle. All these over to first, and 2 away to start the 7th. 0 for 3. So now pinch hitter for the Cubs, Michael Conforto, looking for a two-out spark with the bases empty. Swinging a foul out of play. Two down, nobody on. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Big time jam right there. I hate it as a hitter, but standing in center field, you can't help but chuckle a little bit.
Swing and a ball lifted left field. And that's the third out. So they go quietly there. Seventh inning. Welcome back. Taking a look at our game summary. New pitcher in the game for the Cubs, Jacob Webb.
And he's got a nice lead to work with, so he should come in throwing strikes, attacking these hitters.
Olsen leading things off and takes a strike.
Ball one.
The 1-2. Swings and misses. One away.
Well executed pitch on the outside part of the plate.
That's a ball.
Riley thought that one missed, and here comes a challenge. Good eye at the plate. They'll overturn the call. They'll keep both their challenges. And that's in for a strike. And a count 2-1. That's a ball. Tried the sweeper. In for a strike. Now it's 3-2. The Braves with a lot of ground to make up. Here at the bottom of the seventh.
Ball four.
Challenge from behind the dish here. And the call stands. It was indeed a ball. So that removes their last challenge. Now it's the Atlanta catcher, Drake Baldwin. And first offering is fouled off. Right through there for a strike. Riley leads off first with one away.
Ball.
This one in the air. Bregman. And there are two down.
Well, that's what he's looking for with the fastball above the zone. A swing and miss or weak contact.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again. Stays alive. And it's fouled off. They'll do it again. The 0-2. Inside. And it hit him.
Got him. First base.
Now a chance for Michael Harris II. First and second, two down. Late here in game 4. Next offering in there for a strike. That is strike 2.
That's a ball.
Cut on and miss. Struck him out. And that is the third out of the inning. 2 left for Atlanta. Steep hill to climb. It's a 9. Welcome back, and a new arm on the mound to start the 8th. Martin Perez. That one fouled off. And a big swing and a miss.
Just a little too quick on that. Front shoulder, front hip, front foot. Everything comes open. No way of making contact with that one.
Swing and a bouncer. Has to barehand it. Fires to first,
Safe,
but
he's
it's
good.
not in time. Base hit.
It was a healthy cut, but the same can't be said for the contact. He got just enough of the ball to put it in play, and that's all he needed. Tough play for the
Runner on the go. Bunt attempt misses. Throw.
He's
Save. That was close, but StatCast shows us why he so often seems to be on the safe side of these steal attempts, Chris.
Yeah, you see that plus speed, and he needed every last bit of it to swipe that bag. Such a threat on the bases.
Man at second. Base hit into the outfield. Throw quickly into third. They're at the corners now to start the inning.
Up next for the Cubs, shortstop.
Swanson digs in. He's already homered here in this one. Hit on the ground to short. Dubon. Over to Albies. To first.
No,
Not in
he's safe.
time. And a run scores.
Well, an aggressive slide at second base, but it was legal. I like it because you're trying to break up the double play, and it looked like the slide impacted the throw a little bit. Nice job by the base runner.
Step off throw to first.
Thanks.
And he's back safely. Runner on the go. Bunting, but that's a foul ball.
Ball. That's inside.
Runner goes again. And safe.
No, he's in there. Safe.
It's a stolen base. Right through there, got him. That's the second out.
Clearly looking out over the plate on that outer third, and that pitch finished. Right down the middle, just a little bit in, and he couldn't pull the trigger.
Here's a tapper towards short. Dubon throws to first. That's the third out. Game 4 of the division series. Bottom of the 8th. Mauricio Dubon now at the plate. That one finds the zone. Strike one. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
No, that pitch wasn't even close to being a strike, and that just goes to show you how defensive hitters can become when they're up against an 0-2 count. You're just hoping for a mistake somewhere near the zone that you can get the bat to, but right there, he was clearly anxious. He was swinging when the ball left the hand.
Yeah.
Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So the one-out hit turns the lineup over.
Up next for the
Back to the top of the order now. Now the leadoff spot for the Braves, Jerks and Profar. And that drops in for a strike.
Quickly into an 0-2 count. Both pitches were down in the zone. I think you set your sights a little bit higher because you'll have a tendency to chase if you look down in that area.
He goes down looking.
Fastball inside just freezes the hitter. I don't think he was ready to pull the trigger. A lot of times hitters are looking away, and that one locked him up.
Hammered down the right side, but foul. Smith off of first with 2 away. Swing and a ground ball. Gets him easily, ends the inning. Braves strand one, not looking good. They're down 10-0. Back at Truist Park, all set to start the 9th in this one. Michael Busch digs in now.
Well, don't expect too many more high fastballs. This is a good sinker ball pitcher, and sometimes they can make mistakes trying to pitch up in the zone. Look for him to stay down around the knees to be effective.
Ball one.
Right through there for a strike. Swings and misses. And a strikeout for the first out here in the ninth. That one hammered, but pulled foul. The Cubs up big in this one here in Game 4 of the NLDS. Out towards right center field. Smith on the move. Pulls it down, and he makes the catch. And there's 2 away. So up next for Chicago, Ian Happ.
Hey!
Two down, nobody on. Foul ball, it stays 0-2. Swings through that one, it's a strikeout. Cubs. Back in Atlanta, Truist Park. Now in for the Braves, Matt Olson. Ground ball left side, and it stays fair. Around first and hustling for second. And that's a leadoff double.
Good piece of hitting, going the other way with that pitch to beat the shift. You know, not a lot of guys are willing to do that, even with the shift on, because they're looking to pull the ball with authority, but it's a pretty easy hit if you want it.
This one in the air, center field. Taylor coming on. And there's one down. So now with one away and a man at second. And now the catcher comes up to him. Drake Baldwin. That one finds the corner. That's strike 2. Finds its way through, base hit. And it gets by him. Here comes Olsen around third. He's safe. It's 10-1. One run across in the frame so far late here in Game 4. Popped up. Bregman should have this one. And there's 2 down. So they're down to their final out. So down to the plate for Atlanta, Michael Harris II. And first offering is fouled off. They're down to their final strike. And the Cubs move one step closer to a championship. They're headed to the NLCS.
You win a National League Division Series, you can breathe a little bit as the next one will stretch out to possibly 7 games. I'm sure they don't want to take it that far, but they're just going to be happy to get there. Congratulations.